I don't know what that means.
Like whatever you sent, we're live. Whatever you sent to her last week, it's the same link. 3guyzcoffee. Just have her subscribe.
Yeah, she's 700.
700. My sister
Us?
subscribed, so we now have 7.
There was 24
subscribers.
views on our last one.
That was me 23 times.
Oh, we have a live chat.
It doesn't do that.
All right, keep it open.
All right.
Keep it open. Supposedly
Says
we're live.
waiting. Says waiting.
Uh-oh. Did you not press the button?
I did. I hit go live.
Go live. Do you hear? Yeah, hold on.
I need it. Listen, I'm starting here next Wednesday.
Whoa.
So,
Oh, here we go. We're
Oh,
good.
we're on. Okay.
Live?
Yeah, it just came on.
I can hear me. Testing, testing, testing. Can I hear
Me?
you?
Got me?
Can you hear me now?
Put that in your mouth.
Well, no, because it says don't talk to me like that. What's wrong with you?
You know what? How can I turn those lights off?
Sorry, I'm going to make you walk all the way to the other side of the office. See where the Archie's is over there? That was a plug, shameless.
Mhm.
All the way over there by the front door there. There's the other one. And he's gimpy. Let's talk about the fact that he's barely walking over here, this guy. A few things to talk about. Is that better? Or you want these other ones off too? Is behind the desk. This is all right? He's setting the mood.
I like it.
Chris is so dark. Look at you. Because it's not sunny out today. Nah, it's not going to do it.
Oh, is that a new light?
Not yet. No. George was here, and we have all the ideas we want to do. Can I bring this down here? Nah, it's not going to work. He's just dark.
That's okay. I get him. It's all good.
So I got 2 podcasts or webinars coming up. One is for VO2 max and cardiometabolic testing, resting metabolic rate. I'm going to do with the company. They want to do that the second week of September. And next week,
Oh,
I got a webinar.
I
to
took
do
a whole
this.
coffee.
Yeah.
That's
no,
yours.
It's fine.
You need it.
I do.
Yeah.
You definitely need it.
Tired of
After
it.
your
Bike ride.
300-yard bike ride.
My
How many yards is 2 miles?
stupid ass. Did you ride your bike?
I have no.
Okay,
And
then.
I just told my son,
I
this
rode
too,
on
my
Sunday.
10-year-old son, that I had to tune up, and then of course I have not ridden it since.
Damn right. So then my 2 miles is looking good compared to your no miles.
True.
Sucker.
I played some golf though. I walked that golf course.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
No.
Do you play golf?
No. I retired from golf.
You did play golf.
Yeah, I used to play a lot all the time, like 2-3 times a week.
Yeah, but if you win out, you wouldn't. How you doing over there?
Good. Yeah. I think I don't know what do I have to
So
talk to
here's-
the do I have to talk to the
This
boss?
is easy. Take this elbow, bring it
You
down.
can't.
it
You can't.
doesn't.
For some reason, it doesn't go that far down. We can move this.
Get it.
You
I
can
just-
link this.
I'll just
like,
talk
what if we-
to I'll talk
I
to
wonder if
Kelly
we
when
put
she
it-
gets in. Because obviously talking
not.
to you is not
She's
coming.
not going to be here today. No, George was here. Like we have every idea now. George went off to Milan to
Okay.
go film some stuff. This guy, he's great, by the way. So,
George is the
George
guy
is
who
there.
set it up. But
Why are you limping?
dude, I don't know. I went to Indianapolis.
why do you have ADD?
No, I went to Indianapolis and I was just, I was just saying to Pete, I just had like a soreness on the top of my foot going to the airport on Saturday, and whatever. I woke up Sunday. I went for a bike ride. Everything was fine. Just like this soreness, but no limp or anything. And then Monday it was worse, and then Tuesday it was worse. And I mean, it's killing me.
Is it
It's
your foot?
Absolutely, it's my foot. It's like the top of my foot.
What do you think?
It's not the gout.
It's the first thing I said.
got
I'm like,
the
you got
gout.
the gout.
No, but so
And you
It's
have
okay.
it
you
actually
got the
could be
gout.
because I've had some high uric acid in the past, and
You got the gout.
3 weeks of traveling, I made some bad food choices.
That's what you're paying the price.
It could be that
I agree.
I
The
think-
gout.
some allopurinol.
Yeah. What what else could it be? Nothing.
Bug bite that got maybe a little something.
You know,
Is it
I-
red hot and swollen.
No,
No,
Gout.
the gout.
the gout.
The gout.
It's better than the clap.
Should we put a scarlet letter on you? We'll just put a G right on over
Yeah,
here.
it's embarrassing.
This guy, he's got the gout.
He's got the gout.
Yeah. So,
All
but
right.
Indianapolis was good. So that picture
great.
that you had on your thing or that you posted, that's their house.
Well, yeah, that's out on the
Lanai.
lanai. I don't know what that means. That means porch.
It's like a covered
in,
porch, right?
covered
So my
porch.
friends in Jacksonville call it the lanai. I'm like, isn't this just your like patio type of thing?
Yeah.
But it's I guess
But you know
it's
what's
covered.
cool? You know what's cool. So you got the golf course, the pool, the lanai, and then the kitchen, and they have and lanai goes up, to the second floor. From the top, you press the button and the screens come down.
Yeah.
So you could just stay out there when the mosquitoes start to come out at night.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's really nice. Great. We had just a working session. Lisa Marie was in on Zoom from Las Vegas, and we had like a 6-hour jam session on structuring and planning and all the things, all the vision stuff. So it was great. The conversation we had here last week was great because, what you said is once you visualize and create the world that you want, it exists. It's actually running and it's going the way you thought it was, and you're the CEO, and it's hugely successful. It's what you painted. It's there.
Yeah.
So now it's a matter of matching up with it,
compressing the time to get there quicker.
Right.
I like that. You said think about all the scenarios in your head so that in advance, and then you can. We were talking about that with playing basketball, all the shots and a vision. You know what's crazy? Kelly and I were watching The Intern last night. You ever see that one with Robert De Niro?
I love that one. Yeah.
Live.
I know I saw it.
It was terrific, and the fun. I wouldn't even ever have put the connection, but it's exactly. She had this vision in her head. She was the CEO of a. She developed an online clothes company, a high end or something like that. And it's kind of like that. Like she has this whole vision. She knows exactly what she wants. And now she just has to get everything to align. And she's doing a million things. And of course, her marriage is falling apart. And some of the movie is like, Robert De Niro being the old man, kind of
like Yoda.
Oh, yeah, that type of thing. And then, should I find a CEO? Should I, so that I can take some steps back? But I don't want that because then I'm working for somebody and then my vision doesn't happen. It was all what you just said. So it's 100% true.
No, it was great because I flew there just kind of meditating on the vision itself and really going into detail of what it looks like, what's the point, what's the purpose, what's the mission, basically taking it beyond anything about me. Not only is this going to be huge, but it's going to live forever. In other words, we're building something that's going to outlast
change the world.
Yeah. It's going to outlast me.
When did you figure this out?
When did I figure out?
Yeah, when it was like, I have this idea.
Well, the idea
became more than an idea.
The idea has been, I think when you go into healthcare and you have a genuine passion for what we do, that vision starts. How can I influence as many people as I possibly can? In the beginning of your career, you're like, I just got to build my fucking practice. I need people to walk in the door. I got to pay my bills. I got to, get a mortgage, whatever. But then once you get past through that first, then you start visualizing, all right, how do I scale this? And if your reason for scale is just to serve yourself and to serve, some vision of
fancy house, fancy car, money and fame.
Not that there's anything wrong with any of those things, but that's not going to create something that's lasting forever. That'll create ABC Chiropractic Clinic, that once you retire and leave, the doors close or you sell it and become something else.
Right.
It becomes somebody else's chiropractic clinic. But the vision for a national or even global movement started in earnest when the pandemic hit, and we had the vision for bringing this into multiple offices, to bring metabolic health services into multiple offices and creating just a model behind it that in my brain could scale. That's when it started. And then if you add to that, just technology, what's possible, right? And now it makes all of the aggravation I'm about to go through worth it,
right?
Because it's worth it. Like, what is the one thing that you hear people say? Don't quit. Like they interview whatever, all the great successful guys, guys and gals, whatever. But the point is, like, you don't quit. You keep going. You keep going. If the vision is right, you keep going. It's the people who get to a certain point and then they stop.
I always have that picture in my head of that cartoon that everybody has seen. Like, there's two guys in the tunnel underneath the curve with a pickaxe, and one just stops like 3 feet from the diamonds, and the other one gets through to the diamonds. And I think that depiction, that cartoon, has run my life.
Right.
in a positive way, obviously, because
yeah.
I just never stopped.
Steve
but-
Jobs said it. There are all these people, like they have Steve Jobs saying it when he was really young. There's video of a couple of other major CEOs. Even there's a recent video of Donald Trump saying it his way. It's just, you don't stop. You don't quit.
You already have the end in mind. Like you see,
I see it.
what the
I
idea
see
is.
it.
That is so
I see it.
inspiring because I was listening to this Simon Sinek book. You know, Simon
Yeah,
Sinek.
of course.
He's pretty awesome, by the way. So what's it? Starts with
Power
why?
of why? Yeah.
Yeah, and then he was just talking about like the Steve Jobs. What was different? Right now, I'm up with the airplane. And obviously, he's like, yeah, nobody knows the first guy that was really commissioned by the government to build an airplane because we all know the Wright brothers, right? And he goes, the difference is, you got Steve Jobs, an Apple company, and a Dell company. How come, they could do this and they could do that? And it's all about this passion. It's all about the why. It's not the what, the how. The guys from the government, they had, best friends with Carnegie, best friends with Alexander Graham Bell, and had all the tools. They got $50,000, which was an insane amount of money from the government and private investors to build with all the materials and all the people. And the Wright brothers had $1.59 from their whatever store that it had,
Right.
and then they built the freaking plane. So it's the why that makes, I think, the difference.
It's always the why.
It's always the why.
That's always the
You're
why.
good at that, man.
Because the how is not important.
Or the what.
What do you think
None of
holds people back the most? Not just the quitting, but if I were to guess, what holds people back is they don't see themselves as being able to do something that they've envisioned. Because that's definitely been the case for me. I was, kind of would say, I'm a clinician. Like I love just focusing on what I know, whether it be academic or clinical, and therefore because of that. I sacrifice knowledge in business and the organization and leadership, and you keep telling yourself this lie, because it is a lie, right? It's just I chose to not go that route, or I chose to tell myself that story before I gave myself an opportunity to become that leader, to become that organizing force.
It's my vice president, Carrie, over there. Little shout out. Good morning.
I think it's fear. I mean, everything is
Yeah,
fear.
yeah.
That's all.
Fear, right?
That's it. I mean, it's whether
fear or love.
Yeah, that's the only two choices
That's
are
right.
on the entire
Fear or love.
planet.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's just what makes everything so simple.
Yeah.
I think I'm just always already see it like done, like just because I've had such a base of, with all the manifesting and the spiritual stuff. It's just weird. And when you're speaking and all that stuff, I'm just like trying to figure out which manifestation to tell you to do to get into the parallel universe, to go to that level where you've already done with that and go there to your highest self doing that, and then go there and visualize it and meet yourself and then bring that back and then get it done quicker. Like it's already done. Like in my mind, like you already
I'm wasting a lot of time.
It's done.
He already saw you already. Like
Yeah.
you're like, dude, how come you haven't seen you?
Right.
What's
right.
wrong
Like,
with you? Right?
So you just have to spend. I think you start to spend more quiet time in and then getting into that parallel. People think I'm nuts, but.
So I was gonna say, so how do you talk to it? Like, okay, I get what you're saying now, and only because I've been hanging out with you, and never like that. But but when I first met you, I'm like, what a fucking freak. But like, so how do you talk to? Because I get it in a different way than you do, right?
Right. I mean, some people you just don't.
Yeah.
You just don't talk to.
So the idea,
by the way,
idea that
was you. He just didn't talk. He didn't want to talk to you about that.
No.
But the idea is that every possibility exists in the other universe. So there's an infinite number of universes for everything.
Everything is done,
and everything is done in every
fact.
possible way on a positive note. And I'm sure
there could be. I don't think there's any.
Is there like a universe where Hitler won World War II?
I don't think there's.
that show.
I don't think there's positives. They're all positive things because there's either good or there's lessons. Right? There's no bad.
Right.
So
who made this up though?
Everything that's ever been bad in your life has been a lesson.
Truth.
That's always come out something positive. Right. So
it's because we want it to come out positive.
No matter,
genuine.
There's always good and bad.
Right.
No matter what, no matter how negative you want to be about it, or
But spin the bad into a
well,
lesson of good.
You can spin the bad into bad, or you make it a story, or you can spin the bad into good, which it really is, because the universe is always working in your favor.
It's always good.
It's always good.
It's always
right?
good.
Isn't that like
That's what people.
That should be the slogan. It's always good.
The universe is always working in your favor.
I am the
always.
furthest thing from a biblical scholar in any way.
Me too. By the way,
but in those first few pages, I've read the first few pages.
Never opened the Bible.
I read it a few times, and there was this, and it was good. Like he kept saying, and it was good.
Oh, I think we say that in some Jewish during holidays. Yeah, and it was good. That's right. The first book. The first book. The first book was our book, right?
All right, your book.
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
There it is.
I think we say that.
We have the same book.
Yeah.
You guys got a second chapter. We didn't get a second chapter.
So that's this. I think it makes things a lot easier when you just lock into it, man, and dig into it and see it already done, and bring back all the information, and you can access your highest self at all times, and see and do it up. Just get quiet.
No, what's interesting about what you're saying is that shortening.
Yeah, shorten the time. You can bend time.
Compressing time,
sure.
bending time. That's a concept I'd like to learn more about.
That's great in your scenario, right? So he's got this vision. He's got this idea.
Now, 54 years old.
Old man with gout.
Better hurry up.
He's got that gout. Well, what about like somebody like me right now, right? So my next season, I'm trying to figure what is my vision? How do you find the vision, the passion when you
just gotta quiet your mind.
Yeah.
And you already know it. It's just
being covered by a lot of layers of
just question it. And a lot of people, there's you have a lot of dynamics, so I quiet my mind, and mine's very basic because I'm super simple. Like I don't have a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And that's just the way I'm designed. I'm not a fan of having a lot of stuff. Your next thing is just, it's in there. You just got to get in and just ask yourself, you just get quiet, and you get into a deep focus, and you just say, what's my next, you get into your, what we call, what I've always learned to, which I find this really fascinating, is to find your higher good. And then I was told never to find your higher good. You always have to go to your highest good.
Right.
Because your higher good is 1 minute from now, because you're better than you were yesterday.
Right.
But your highest is your best version of you always, like they say right before you dissolve into spiritual energy is your highest good. You're that 1 millimeter before passing on to the universal, and just go there.
Yeah.
And then just ask for guidance, and then it'll come.
Yeah.
Whether you believe it comes, or you see it, or you're aware to pay attention to it.
Doesn't matter. It's there.
It's there.
It's there.
And it's always there.
You can have your blinders on and your earmuffs on, but it's there.
Pay attention
so you
to
have to be able to,
and you got to be able to align with it and go forward with it.
What about this concept of words are really the lowest form of communication?
I read that. What was that? You told us about that.
Yeah.
And it's how you feel. It's your
that was
movement.
Conversations with God.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Movement.
See, I read it.
what did you say?
Movement.
Right.
It's energy, motion, and then words.
Right.
Yeah, I think words are like 16% of how people.
Right.
That's important to do. When you're even doing like a report of findings, you're doing a report on somebody, and you're just blabbing out words, and you're not paying attention to how that person's moving,
right,
or the exchange of the energy, or how you're standing and they're sitting, or you're both sitting and their arms are crossed and yours aren't crossed. Like all these things, like when we do like a report on someone, and I don't even like, the words should just be so natural that you're paying attention to the person, right, and like this is,
somebody's closed off.
Yeah, they're resistant, or if they're, you have to just start feeling their energetic exchange between them, and then, so that's what
everyone gets caught up. Like when I teach doctors, they get caught up in the words, the numbers, the quantification of everything.
It's a disaster.
I always say nobody's going to remember, but they're going to remember a couple of things. They're going to remember how they felt when you were saying it, because
that's it.
You made them feel like there's a solution, there's an answer. But also there's it's not only how you made them feel, it's I don't know how to properly word it, but when you're going over the
Perfect for a podcast, by the way. So.
No, the words,
The
right?
words.
But yeah, it's how you make bringing people to a place where they know there's a solution. They'll not remember but they know that they're so confident.
Yeah.
There's a comfort in you because they're like, holy,
you.
this is the guy. I don't know what the hell he said, but I know that I'm going to feel better. I'm going to be better.
Right.
I'll be healthier. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's this,
that's the energy.
it's the energy, but it's confidence and it's hope.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. If you're going to do a diagnostic test, right? Let's say blood work or VO2 max or whatever, or a nerve scan or X-ray,
MRI, X-ray. Yeah.
It's not the data, it's the interpretation of the data.
Right.
That's what you're paying for.
Yeah.
Like you could go spend a couple $100 and get all the numbers you want.
Yeah.
How are you interpreting the numbers? How are you translating those numbers into here's what?
In essence, the diagnosis doesn't really matter. It's what do we do with that? And how do we get it to where we want it to be?
Right.
By the way, I can't say. Do you guys you like this one better? What do you think?
Yeah.
Right. There's not a lot of people with hair on there, right?
I like it.
Hi, Lily. Lily runs my show.
Nice.
She's the greatest. Got to give her a shout
Is
out.
this one different than this one?
No, they're exactly the same. Why? Why does it look different?
So I actually, on my phone, I cropped out. I left it just the screen. Like I just thought, what if it was?
I could
just
do that.
What's on the screen? That way, it's less busy.
That's right up your alley. It's much more simple. I could do that. I'll do that.
Yeah. See, I like the simplicity of this because you got 2 cups of coffee, and then you got the beans, and then you got some other thing over there. And,
Some other thing over there.
So I was trying to think of like if we're like we have it on YouTube Live, but are podcasts just audio or are they video too? From what do you know?
But
I don't know.
No, if you're gonna listen to it on Spotify, whatever.
Right. So how do we get on Spotify? How do we get
we gotta sign up?
100 million people listening to us on Thursday morning at 7:00 because they have no idea that we didn't do it on Wednesday morning or previously on Friday morning.
Right.
And we don't tell anybody about this except for Chris's mom.
My mom texted me yesterday morning. What time today? I was like, oh, I forgot to tell you. It's Thursday. She's like, okay.
Where is there a Zoom?
Yeah, that's these buttons down here. You can go fast Zoom or slow Zoom.
We needed. What if someone has a question?
Right. So once you had it up,
where does it go on there? One of those should be live questions.
We could, but that's a little bit too far away,
here.
right? I think that's the whole idea with the iPad. Trust me, I talked about it with George. George has just been super busy, and we need to keep that guy busy. That's cool. He's awesome, man. We'll get him on here.
So George is what? What exactly is he? What do you mean you got to keep him
George? George is one of like 7 cameramen in the world that do the extreme camera stuff, like that. Like he's flying off buildings, he's up in the mountains, he jumps out of airplanes, type of stuff. And George, without naming it, he got into an accident, and he's now really struggling being able to do that. So I guess he's got a million talents. He's one of those guys who he could do anything. So he's the one. I don't know how it even came up.
He's got time on his hands because he can't jump off a building.
Yes, but he's still doing things that he shouldn't be doing. And he flew to Tokyo for a day and a half. Then he went to Milan to do stuff. Then he goes up to Vancouver. So he's all over the place. But
he needs work.
I don't know what he needs at this point right now. I need him to come over here so we can finish this thing up. Yeah. And then once we finish this thing up, he's got a lot of connections in a lot of different areas too. You'll meet him.
Yeah,
I promise.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
You should bring him on the show.
He's going to be on the show.
Someone hearted my.
Who was it? Was it you? Did you heart?
No.
You hearted?
How do I see who did it?
You're asking a technological.
I don't know.
We got savvy.
All right.
It's embarrassing, considering I'm the young guy of the group over here. I need to know all this stuff.
He's got gout.
The gout.
He's got the gout.
The gout.
So he definitely doesn't know about this stuff.
Remember when I had the COVID? I had the COVID.
The COVID. That's it. We're just going to change every disease to put a dot in front
That's
of
how my patients are. I got the diabetes.
I'm like, I got the sugars.
I got the diabetes. I got the arthritis. That's how they talk up there. I got the arthritis. I got the diabetes.
I got Uncle Arthur. I'm like, what? Uncle Arthritis. Uncle Arthritis.
It's the best.
So wait, you got plans? Are you done? No, where are you going?
I got to go down to North Carolina.
Nice.
I'm
Is
driving down the same path. Yeah, I'm going to Abingdon, Virginia, the Virginia-Tennessee border.
Nice. You driving?
Lake. We're going to drive this afternoon.
This is for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Labor Day weekend with my
Move
boys.
my kid into school.
Oh,
And
yeah,
see
that's
Nick
right.
and
Yeah.
Steph and Niles and Caitlin. See what
George
they're
is going to be driving up from. He's going to meet us from Florida State. He's going to be
doing. Fun.
driving up. So we're going to.
I think
Yeah. Because whenever I used to go to see Chris in that part of Southwest Virginia, it's like another 2 hours to Charlotte.
Right.
So we're going. When are you leaving?
Tomorrow morning,
Nice.
flying down, and then we're gonna spend the day at Steph's house on
Lauren-
Saturday.
It's flying.
Flying. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
trip you think you would take to drive because it's a drivable trip.
Yeah,
so.
but it's like an hour and 10-minute flight. You can't pass that up.
I know, but you
you're
know what?
preaching to the choir here.
It
but-
depends on when you land, but that drive from the airport to Nick and Steph's,
Yeah.
there could be a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
on
From
that.
Charlotte to
I-
Lake Norman.
I land at 10 a.m., so I'll be good.
Oh, it'll be
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
10 a.m. on a Friday of
yeah.
Labor Day. You think you're going to be good?
Think so. I don't.
Did you
whole-
manifest that already? You
Yeah,
saw-
it's always
you
fine.
saw the conclusion already.
It's
of
always
that one?
fine.
I think you might be the only person traveling at 10 a.m. during Labor Day weekend to a huge, beautiful lake.
Yeah.
He's got the
well.
most patient pearls that I've ever seen.
Is there
it's
just
all
a
good
shit
stuff.
ton of New Yorkers down there in Charlotte? It just
Yeah,
because
it's getting bigger.
The traffic is crazy.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah. Good morning,
Bigger and
Shan.
bigger. Hey, bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, busier and busier.
Are we going down there?
No.
No. Are you staying here? You don't want to leave the Bears. Have you seen the Bears?
I have not seen the Bears. I had a cat. Saw a cat today and an opossum. Possum.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
I
possum.
can't stand possums.
We have a
giant rats.
Yeah,
They're
they are.
disgusting.
we have a resident fox now.
Yeah, no, I have a fox that
too.
walks
Yeah.
every day the same
Is he
exact
rocking?
time.
Is he taking?
Same-
He's got the rucksack on. He's walking back and forth over
I'm
there.
kind of hoping he
Getting
would take
built.
out this gopher. We got this gopher that just get.
Is that what they eat?
huge? I think
Morning,
carnivores,
Crystal.
Right?
Morning.
Yeah, they're carnivores, right?
Yeah.
They
We had
Who are?
what eats a
Oh,
fox?
fox.
Would it be a coyote?
no nothing eats.
No,
them.
someone needs a
They're-
fox. We
they're-
had a dead eaten fox by
Oh, really?
my pool 2 years ago.
I guess a coyote would.
Must be coyote, right?
Yeah.
We had some. we had
Maybe
some
it
pretty
died of
large
old
coyote.
age and then something ate it.
Right.
No, it was ripped apart.
Maybe it was turkey vultures after it died.
I mean, you could be right. We would see that though. Like, I mean, like my
Yeah.
kids went back there, like, oh my god. I had to call the town. Like, I mean, first off, like, we grew up around here. You grew up around here. Like, you were a city guy, but like, did you ever see a fox growing up
No.
here, New York, New Jersey? Like that's nature. To
No,
me. That's like real stuff.
Yeah.
I went to
because
visit
there's
my
no space.
nephew in Los Angeles, and we're in we're in fucking L.A. Like down like
Yeah, New York
busy
City.
part-
Might as well be New York
Might
City.
as well be in the city. We're walking down the street to go to a restaurant. 2 coyotes are walking in the middle of the street. Wow, fucking coyotes.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
crazy.
those are like I'm like,
Yeah.
where do we run?
Right,
Where do we go?
Right. And some of them, they get bit. Dude, there was one behind my fence. I was like, my neighbor was out there too. We're like, what the hell is that? Is that a big dog? Like a
Big
German?
dog.
He goes, that's a coyote. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy cow! I thought coyotes were a little bit smaller.
No, they're big.
Where the hell do we live now?
My buddy Pete upstate, he'll see one like on his with his pickup truck, and he'll just run it over,
Mhm.
take the hide, and hang it up in his house.
Yeah,
Decorative piece. Yeah,
Coyote?
yeah, coyote.
decorative piece.
No. I mean, raccoons, that I'm used to. I got this one raccoon or two. I got it on the Ring camera so I can see them. They're fat as could be.
Yeah,
These
they
things
are.
are the best fed thing ever. Like that. They're like on my grill. You can see their paw prints, the mud. I'm like, what, dude, come on. You're putting
Yeah.
mud all over my grill. Get out of here.
They eat good.
They eat good around
Yeah.
here. We do a very good job for them.
Yeah.
They are not going anywhere.
They're super happy.
You know what I don't see anymore? Those ugly turkeys.
You know,
Have you seen those recently?
okay, so
Yeah,
I used to see them all the time.
Yeah,
All the time. I haven't seen them. So that means there was more foxes. There's more
that's a good thing, right?
more hawks and more. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean, good for us. I don't like those things. I think they're super ugly. They make me uncomfortable for whatever reason.
Turkey?
Yeah, I just think they're ugly. So for me, that's a good thing. But I don't know. Does that mean the world is a good thing that we have more foxes and
I
more?
don't know.
No,
I think it's balance.
yeah, everything's a balance.
I don't really
Turkey.
care.
I don't either.
No,
I
it doesn't.
don't
It's
care.
not. Does not on your head at all.
No. I mean, unless they're like on my porch, then I get upset.
Right. Those things
I
fly.
like that.
Turkeys.
Yeah, those
yeah.
things they fly. They're
You
huge.
eat turkey?
Do I eat those turkeys? Though?
Yeah.
No, you don't
That's
eat wild
not
turkeys.
that.
You
That's
eat domestic
turkey.
turkeys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
well,
So,
eat
good
them.
morning.
Same thing.
They're not the same thing. They don't look like that, do they?
Turkey's
I'm gonna have a problem eating turkey.
Turkey's
Like,
a
was this
turkey.
thing ugly when it was alive?
You know, it's funny. Are there wild chickens?
No. Chicken and turkey, man. That's vile.
Okay, that's not a bad question, is it? There has to be wild
I've
chicken.
never seen a wild chicken.
I've seen chickens walking around like when I go to the Caribbean islands. They're out there strolling.
Those are
around.
wild chickens. All right, so there are wild
Yeah,
chickens.
right.
I guess.
I don't know.
they're all
I bet
domesticated.
you every single
It wouldn't
person
be
who
there
lives
if
in the
it wasn't.
Caribbean knows whose chicken that is. I don't know
Yeah.
how wild that is. Like, you
Right.
better not touch that chicken. That's my dinner tomorrow or next week.
Like I don't know if some like they're chasing that chicken and eating it. Like it's just I think they just hang out. Maybe they are wild, or maybe there's just so many chickens that they just don't have place to go. They're like homeless, not wild.
Right, homeless.
They're homeless
Yeah.
chickens.
Yeah.
Sad.
But this is some conversation.
That's serious.
It's-
That's a homeless problem for
We,
chickens.
I guess we send them to San Francisco.
All right, that's
Yeah.
it. They'll get free stuff. Everything taken care of.
Everything free.
You know, in Greece, there's cats everywhere, right? So all over, like, and they're all kind of cute. You know, it's
Right.
not like they're scraggly wild. I mean, they're all wild cats there. But so my kids were like, why are there so many cats? I'm like, trust me, if there weren't cats here, there would be other things that you don't want to see.
Absolutely right.
You know,
The mice and
those
all the other
restaurants.
little vermin that
Exactly.
you won't want over there.
For real.
I don't want that.
You don't want that?
When we were in our old office, we had the pizza place and the sushi restaurant below us. And one day, my medical assistant goes, she's a mouse, a rat, and she goes, I can't eat here anymore. I'm like, those rats have been here for like when you don't think every single restaurant you've ever seen in the history of your life has rat. Like it just is what it is. It's food.
Yeah.
She goes, but I haven't seen it.
Right.
And I'm like, that makes the difference in your mind. I
It
guess
does make
that's
a difference.
it does.
I can't deal with rodents. I can't deal with rodents.
This guy.
During the pandemic,
Something happened.
Right. He's got
I can't.
gerbils.
Let's dive deep. You want to get a
possums,
couch in here or what?
mice, anything with a fucking tail that's like a rodent's tail. I can't deal with. Like squirrels, I don't. It doesn't. But they got a furry tail, so
Right,
they're
right.
kind of
They're
cute.
cute.
What about a chipmunk? Those are cute, but they have
Yeah,
that
yeah.
little tail.
No, it's furry
they
though.
don't have like a rat's tail.
It's a little less furry than a squirrel tail. All right.
So the pandemic, New York City is like, let's put all the restaurants outside. Like that's some kind of good fucking idea.
Mm.
And so I go out to dinner and I walk my friend back to the apartment. So I had from the car, I guess I was parked like 4 or 5 blocks away. It was like 10 o'clock at night. The rats were everywhere. You had to walk in the middle of the street. They were everywhere. It was absolutely disgusting.
Were you scared?
Yeah, very, very. Like
I mean,
I can't.
I've been in the
stand
subway and they're running around over
Did
there,
you
but
see
never
that
on the
video
middle
on
of the street.
Instagram. The guy's sleeping on the subway and the rat goes down his
Yeah.
chest.
Oh,
It's like
I
it's like
love
a
that.
nightmare.
I love it.
No.
I love that he's scared of
Yeah, how
rats.
uncomfortable you are. That's your friend right there, by the way.
That's
Just,
so
the more
funny.
uncomfortable you are, the happier he
No.
is. Like, he smile. There's a glow above
It's
his
just-
head. It's
I
not
don't
even this
know.
light up there.
It's just funny to see.
This is how
I just
uncomfortable.
love people's like stuff. I just like to hear about people's
I don't
stuff.
like snakes. I'm not a big fan of snakes.
I had a patient when I was in Washington Heights. I had a patient who worked for the city. I'm like, what do you do? He goes, I'm in charge of rats, rat control, pest control, but specifically rats. Like there was like
Is that big of a department? I mean, of a
no.
any-
So it's New York City. There's 9 million people in
Yeah.
New York City, right? So I'm like, you're in charge of all the rats, and it's funny because it was right after 9/11, and that was a big thing. Like, just imagine all the restaurants on 9/11 that were loaded with food.
Yeah.
That morning,
Right.
and everybody just left, and the rats just had a
Oh my
forget it. It was
God,
a
yeah.
gigantic surge. So anyway, he's he
if
goes,
somebody
"Yeah, yeah."
was smart, like
I
all
said-
the rats would go down there where all that stuff is, they would just do something and boom.
Blow them up.
No.
Yeah.
So I said to him, I go,
We're gonna lose a lot
I go,
of
"You're-"
rat fans on our
Yeah,
podcast.
just
good.
And down,
I go,
down to 3 viewers.
I go, so you must be in charge of like a big organization of people, like you have management skills and like radios, like there's 30,000 cops. I would imagine there's got to be some kind of 500-600 of you rat control people, and you're in charge. I'm
Right.
like, tell me about your job. He goes, no, there's 3 of us.
3 of us. for
Me
all
and two guys.
me and 2 guys.
Me and 2
Just
guys.
5 burrows. They
We're-
don't even get a burrow
They're in
each.
charge. Right? They're in charge. I go, what do you do? He goes, well, we just put bait, the poison. You put in the subways. And
So they just
That's it.
go around poisoning rats.
yeah, I mean, this is like the early 2000s.
Yeah, yeah,
so
You
I
okay
don't
with
know.
that?
I don't know what it's like now, but it doesn't seem like they.
Am I calling you out right
Yeah.
now? If you want to plead the fifth, go right
no,
ahead.
I don't. That's not my problem. That's their problem. That's funny. That's not going to get it done.
No,
No,
No.
I
No,
mean,
I
I
like
think
it.
we've proven that.
no.
Mhm.
If there's one thing that history tells us is that rats and humans live together.
Yeah.
Right.
I think everybody
As
should
long
live
as
together.
there's a city,
Yeah.
there are
You just
rats.
wish they would know where their territory was and when to come out into our territory.
Mhm.
Like if you're sleeping and they're in your kitchen and you don't see it and they do what they're thinking and you're gone. I mean, it's uncomfortable to think about it, but like it's as you know, like medical says, as long as she didn't see it, she could still eat at that place.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you know for a fact there's rats all over there.
In every restaurant you've ever been to.
Ever.
Yep.
Ever. I mean, it's impossible.
Yeah.
We live harmoniously, or maybe not so much harmoniously, but
Yeah, that's it. They're out there. I love it. I like saying
every
it.
restaurant should have a cat in the basement.
it's true, right?
Every restaurant.
Yeah.
Then would we have
That's
a cat
Maybe
problem?
maybe there's no rats in Greece.
That's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
don't see rodents.
Yeah.
You know, when you go to these restaurants because there's so many cats.
Yeah.
Where do wild cats? Like, I mean, for oh god, we had a
Feral
cat.
cats.
Yeah, wild feral cats. Like, just the stench of cat urine is. That
Yeah,
bothers me.
but
Just only because when my cat
they're
was getting older and
outside.
sicker, she would start to like pee
Yeah.
on
Cats
shit.
are
and
really
it's like,
smart. They're not just peeing on concrete or
They go find a nice patch of something.
yeah, grass, and
Yeah.
they got the beach.
Yeah.
The beach.
They don't
Yeah.
need.
That's like
they're
their-
not like
their
dogs.
killer.
They're not like dogs that need to be walked. And
Right.
you know, dogs are high maintenance. Cats are just like
Yeah.
take care of stuff on my own.
Poor Lily. We lost Lily. I don't remember how many years ago.
Yeah.
Cat.
Yeah. It was the cat that Kelly got to replace me when I left St. Louis.
Yeah.
So she got a cat to replace me. So she had it for like 18 years.
Yeah. Our cat just died a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry
so,
about
yeah.
that. Were you distraught?
It was
It was
really
sad.
it's a little
Lauren.
sad.
horrible sad. Yeah, it was a surprise. That's why.
Oh,
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
Our cat was very unhealthy.
Yeah. No. So they're so cute, and they're good because they're independent. That's
Yes.
the best part.
That's why Kelly and I don't want to get a dog.
Yeah.
Because it's like we love dogs, but we just need to be able to go on vacation or need
Yeah.
to. Plus, we work 100 hours a week. So
Yeah.
whatever, I'm gonna rely on my 9 and 10-year-old to take care of this
They're not
thing.
going to do it.
No.
Nope.
My wife and I never had a dog ever grow up. We never had a pet growing up. Both grew up the same way. There were no pets in any Giannopolis house. And so my older brother Peter, his family gets a dog, and you know, your kids always at some point are like, can we get a dog? And you know,
Right.
no, you know, and then you just change the subject and you move on. So our youngest, Paige, you know, she was still young and she asked, and I'm like, this is really the last year where if we do get a dog, it'll be magical for her. You know, like she's young enough that it would be great.
Yeah.
So we picked up Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even imagine life
Nah.
without a dog. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the hell it was like.
I've
growing
gone.
up.
This
my
is
whole
the
life
only
without
year
a
I've
dog.
ever not had a dog. Right now,
Really.
it's the first year ever in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never had a dog. I've had friends' dogs, but I've never
Yeah.
had a dog.
Really.
Yeah.
It's
There-
the
there's
best.
something about it. man.
First of all, dogs are.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna lose a lot of cat lovers, and I've only had cats growing up.
dogs, either one.
But
Just
the
an
dogs are
animal is-
much
is-
more loving and care.
Yeah.
My cat just didn't have. She didn't care at all.
Did
about
you
us.
hear that description that
Well, you're a dick.
that RFK Jr. made this week about our responsibility to the environment?
Did you just ask him if he under?
Dude, let me tell you.
Yeah, it was
is
great.
The best. It is the best. The best. Because you know, he's like everyone's. You know, they talk about the environment. They try to quantify it, and they try to use numbers to say so many tons of carbon is allowed to be in the environment. He goes that's not how you take care of the environment. He goes, the reason we, and I'm going to butcher this for people who know what he said. I'm
You can
no
say
way
anything,
do I
man.
have those words. But
It's Chris's mom.
he
She's
said
upset.
that
Yeah, she doesn't know.
when you look, and it goes to the book. When you look at the way God communicates with you, there's, you know, how you feel, and there's your emotions, and then there's your, you know, the words. But when you see leaves and butterflies and birds and nature, and when you pull yourself away from that, you're pulling yourself away from that, the word of God, right? And it's the love of our children, the love of humanity, the love of every generation that came before us, tens of thousands of years, that makes us want to be connected to that. and anything that would pull you away from that is an environmental disaster, but it's pretty amazing. I just don't know where rats fit into that whole.
They're in there. Everybody, everything has a purpose.
There was
right?
a script, and everything in the script. There was a vision. Everything is in the vision.
That's why when people take
Morning,
out
Dr.
that's why when people take out body parts, I'm always wondering what that's about.
Yeah.
Like appendix.
What if it would kill you though? Right? Are
I
we
don't know.
like now you get to experience this?
Well, you don't
for
need an
long-
appendix, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like
Gallbladder.
right.
You don't need the ovaries.
Right.
My
Uterus.
question: what if it was going to
It's
kill
actually
you,
good
right?
for women if they don't have an ovary or. Uterus,
Right. Well, that's
right?
what that,
Is that
right.
right?
That's like just like removing species. Like he's saying, like
Yeah.
everything serves its purpose.
Right.
It's, so I don't know.
Just because we don't know what it is doesn't
Right.
necessarily mean it does not have a purpose.
Right.
I get
Of course.
everything
get
is
that.
it's all in
But
sync together.
we are on this earth for so many years. Don't you want to enjoy what you can? And
Yeah.
don't you want to get as many years as possible? So if your appendix bursts, it's gonna probably kill you if you don't see.
Do you know what
So-
happens? I
I
actually,
don't know anything.
if you were on a desert island,
No,
if you were on a desert island and you had appendicitis,
Yeah.
what would happen? So, and again, it depends on a lot of things, right? So I don't know if this is true about your immune system as you get older. I think there's something called senescence,
Right.
That's real, where the older you get, the less these things work. But if you're a young, healthy person and you get appendicitis, your greater omentum, you remember that?
Of course.
Greater omentum is that curtain.
No.
Of fat.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
you
yeah,
do.
yeah.
Like, that was like the stuff like in gross dissection you did not expect to see when
Right.
you open. What is that?
Like
That's
it,
the
like
omentum.
like the bell. Like
Yeah,
a curtain.
so-
the greater
the-
and lesser omentum.
Right. And
down.
and the innate intelligence of the body is it's all going to migrate over to the infection, right? Migrates over. That's part of your immune system. It's not just a curtain of fat. It's your immune system. And what it's going to do is it's going to create a channel between the infection and your skin on your stomach, and that's going to open up, and it's going to ooze out, and it's going to and your immune system will
push it all the infection
will survive. But we live, that is the wild human, right? The
Right.
human that lives on the earth, the way, that's how we, again, evolved,
Primitive.
or where we came from. Well, we're now domesticated. Just like your dog gets cancer, heart disease, and arthritis. Like there's no wild dogs like, wolves in Alaska or anywhere else that you're going to find cancer, heart disease, or arthritis, right? So domesticated animals, which is exactly what we are limited probably to not experience that. So if you get appendicitis, you could get sepsis and certainly die.
I'm not going to get an open channel to the
Right.
ooze out.
As a result of the omentum from the area of where the appendix used to be. And can you imagine the stuff that comes out of you there?
That would be amazing. That would be cool to see.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Where did this information come from?
He made it up.
I just
He literally just
really
made that
just
shit up.
made it
You
up.
know, the next podcast or so, I think the two of us should just
I
sit
can't
here and
remember the
listen to him
name.
say
I can't
stuff
remember
like
the
that,
name of-
stories.
Lies.
can't remember the name of what that channel is called.
Just name it.
Yeah,
no.
you can name it. Steve
There's a name.
Janopolis.
It's the Janopolis channel.
It's a channel.
I think my buddy Pete upstate, he had appendicitis that he just let go and it healed without creating that channel. Like,
Oozy hole.
his immune system just kind of took care of it
Right.
from the inside.
Feel good about that if you're young enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think you can survive burst appendix
I
from
don't know.
acute appendicitis?
I'm not sure.
It'd probably be painful as hell.
Oh,
I mean,
find
and then that was what I was saying before. It's like, I'm not as anti-med. Like, if you're in severe pain, even though it's not the solution, right? Pain is so debilitating.
Yeah.
Get comfortable, right? I mean, you're only here for a short period of time. Be comfortable, right? And then but understand that's not a solution. I got patients that, for example, they go get epidurals.
Yeah.
I understand that, right? I understand not being in pain. I've had that pain, and I don't want to be in that pain. But if you think the epidural is the solution, you think Advil is the solution. You know, my favorite line is like, "Oh yeah, you have that headache. It's an Advil deficiency."
Right.
I said the pharmaceutical companies have not come up with that tagline
No,
yet,
but
but they'll be allowed to in a suit.
If you're going to take an Advil every day for the next 3 years
Exactly.
because you want to avoid a migraine, then you got the wrong message.
Right.
you know, you don't. We have technology. We don't have to suffer, right? Breaking a bone fucking hurts.
Yeah. Yeah. It does.
So give me an
the
opiate.
gout. What's he to do with the gout?
Emergency situations is wonderful.
Yes.
Right.
I'm just not willing to take. I'm just medicine scares the
Before
shit out of me.
Lipitor, there were no drugs that were chronic. There was no reason to take a medication beyond the acute stage of whatever it is you were taking a medication for. Now, I think 90% of our medications are chronic, whether it be antacids or blood pressure or statins, or they're chronic, then they're taken forever.
Why do you think they look at us like we're crazy? Like, okay, as long as we can acknowledge, all right, we're taking these antacids to try to reduce the pain and discomfort and everything like that. But why can't we do both? Why can't we also fix what the problem is? Like, they can't possibly think that they're trying to fix the actual problem when they're doing this, right? Oh, I hate this thing, this wolf security thing. It's killing me. Block it.
What is
Where?
it?
There you go. It's on the corner over there.
Close it out.
Deep. Oh, and then somebody has to go to the computer over there. But anyway, why can't we make people comfortable, but also
You should
fix
be
the
touch
problem?
screens. Sexy. If you had
Got
bigger-
it blocked, yeah.
If you had bigger.
Yeah, I mean,
shoulders.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, pharmaceutical companies, this, that, the other. But like, even my friends, the medical doctors, like, you know, when they prescribe, like, come on, guys, like, you know,
Hold
the
on.
cause.
I do.
So,
listen.
so that's not you're asking the wrong question.
Okay, I'm asking the wrong
You're
question.
asking the wrong question.
And of course, we have like 4 minutes. What time is it?
You got time. It's 8:16.
Oh my
we're
God,
good,
we have
we're good.
It's 8:16.
Relax. Calm down, bro. You're with us now.
You're
Be in
asking
the
the
present
wrong
moment.
question.
I'm here.
I'll let you know when it's 9. God.
He yelled at me the other day in the middle of the night. I have no idea how he got into my dream, but there he was. He's like, "Shut up, Pete."
Fucking shit, man.
All right, go ahead. I'm asking the wrong question.
Okay, so a decision a doctor makes is based on standard guidelines for whatever the diagnosis is.
Yeah.
Where do the guidelines come from? The guidelines typically will come from some association, you know, for that specialty. So American Heart Association, American Diabetes Association, all of them are going to compile the data from all of the mountains of research that is out there in order to create guidelines which establishes standard of care. Standard of care is what insurance companies are going to use to determine if somebody is guilty of malpractice, right?
Okay.
So a doctor's pressure to use standard of care. Standard of care is based on guidelines. Guidelines come from the associations, the American Medical Association, American Pediatric Association, all the associations. Now, who's working in the associations to create the guidelines, and how are they paid? Well, we know that there are corporations, food corporations, that give gazillions of dollars to various, you know, there are food companies that give to the American Diabetes Association. And those food companies make products that contribute to the diabetes problem. So when they give the money, is there an expectation of possibly cherry picking the research that's used to create the guidelines that then create the
Dictate.
standard of care, and it trickles down? And then, of course, from a pharmaceutical perspective, if you're in medical school, who's paying for those stethoscopes and textbooks and ophthalmoscopes and all the things that pharmaceutical companies are giving money to the schools and to the students for that? So there's a circle of influence that's, so when you ask, don't you know what's causing, you know, just going to the acid question,
Yeah.
right? People assume there's too much acid in my stomach. Well, for the most part, it's too little acid in your stomach. So it's hypochlorhydria, not hyperchlorhydria.
I remember learning that, like,
But you
year
ask,
one.
ask a gastroenterologist
Yes,
that
it's
they're
like
not
year
even
one
interested.
We
in,
learned about
they're
that.
not even interested in having the conversation.
Right.
It's like,
Because if they go outside the standard of care and something doesn't go the way, and then they're in a lot of trouble.
but I've had the conversation. They look at you like you have three heads. They don't even give an argument. They don't say, no, you're wrong because. They just stare at you.
Yeah.
Like, why are you talking like that?
Yeah. I
You know?
always, and on Tuesdays, and I do my orientation and for my patients, and we always discuss, you know, wellness care versus, whatever it is. But and then everyone starts to get, shitty and angry about their doctors in the medical world. But I always think that everyone is doing the best they can with what they know. and that's it. I mean, it's fair. I mean, whether it's right or wrong, no one's prescribing the medicine to be wrong or mad or be bad or hurt their patient.
Right.
They are doing what they think is correct.
I get that, but like they're getting rid of the symptoms, and are they not educated? Like, okay, let's also
They're not.
see in my world and where the genesis of this was is like, okay, medicine is here to stay. And not reversed. When was Lipitor first introduced for chronic use?
1976 or whatever it was.
All right. So that's not going to reverse. But hey, let's also understand. Let the pharmaceuticals have theirs. Let the medical have theirs. But also, as I'm prescribing this,
let's compete. Let's compete with the ideas.
Let's also discuss the fact that perhaps maybe your diet may be contributing to this. And so instead of just taking the Lipitor so you can continue to eat your cheeseburgers,
nobody doesn't know that. Everybody knows that they can make lifestyle change. Everybody know like there's no like, oh, I didn't know that if I was healthier that I wouldn't have these problems. It's not a question of knowing. It's what is the behavioral change? What is the stimulus for you to change your behavior? And what exactly is that behavior change? Should I be vegan? Should I be carnivore or anything in between? Should I do this kind of exercise, that kind of exercise? Whatever the story is, people just kind of default to, well, I don't know what to do. Like I'm kind of overwhelmed, right? And then there's people who are like, no. Medicine is here so I can continue doing what I'm doing and I can work for the rest of my life.
Right. Enjoy my life.
Right. But they're being lied to because you're living a life of demise, right? It's degrading at a rate that you're not comfortable with, but you keep being told, here, you have this problem, take this medication. Or, what do you hear on every pharmaceutical commercial? They say, if diet and exercise are not enough, take these pills.
Right.
Like that's always the thing. Well, diet and exercise is always enough.
Right.
Always.
Right.
Then
if you do it.
Right.
What we're probably not going to see is as generations go on is how disabled we are when we're older, right? I mean, who cares about that right now, right? Right now, you got the gout, in our 50s.
As long as there's somebody with a wheelchair to pick you up at the airport, as long as, Orlando has, all kinds of amenities for people who are in wheelchairs because they're morbidly obese, not even because they have
handicap,
a loss of function. As long as our culture just promotes this, it's going to continue. But a lot of people say, no, it should be illegal, or we should outlaw seed oils. And no, you don't have to outlaw anything. Let everybody do business.
Correct.
Let the ideas compete with each other.
And you're allowed to have seed oil once in a while, right? You want to have a nice, unbelievable cheeseburger or whatever the heck you want.
You could drink seed oils for breakfast.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care.
Right.
But, if you want my opinion on how to improve your health, well, here's what my experience and my knowledge say. Try it. If it doesn't work, it's just changing your diet. Like, I'm not going to kill you.
Right.
And that's the other. Like, we're going to catch flack, but like what we're trying to say is like we're trying to. Well, I guess everybody's saying, "Oh, the medicine is going to try to make you healthy," right?
Yeah,
and we're saying, "Well, natural is going to try to make you healthy," and we're the weird people, huh?
Right. So everyone has their views, and all their views they think are fair,
right,
and they're helpful.
Right.
And that no one's really being evil.
So
surgeons
see surgery.
I understand that.
That's
what they bred to do, and they're like that. They're not thinking like, I have this mind. They're like, I can fix this. Let me fix this. They're not. It's not malicious. Yeah. It's not malicious.
Look, my mother has had gastrointestinal symptoms for as long as I could remember. Right? She started taking. She was taking. I was in high school, and we were going to the doctor. I was going to the doctor with her, and she was taking pills for her gastrointestinal concerns. She's 86 years old right now. And she's always complaining. Like 30 years ago, we ran antibodies for gluten on just a LabCorp test, which is not even like the most sensitive way to look at that. And it came up sky high, antibodies for gluten, right? Gliadin. But she's not celiac, right?
Right.
So therefore, if you're not celiac, who cares?
Right.
And so to this day, she lives this way. Any attempt to go gluten-free is going to last about 2 weeks. and she's just not going to do it because. And then I go with her to a gastroenterology appointment, and I say to the doctor, we did this, test, and she's not celiac, but she has sky high antibodies to gliadin. You think she should go gluten free? And then the learned gastroenterologist says, "Oh, she doesn't have celiac. No, it's okay. You, Mrs. Giannopoulos, you can eat all the bread you want."
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, doc.
Right.
Because if you're a clinician, and you have a sick family member, don't be their doctor.
Right. No.
Because
No.
she'll never listen
I'm
to you.
forever my mother's son.
Of
I'm
course.
not her doctor.
Right.
Yeah, your friends too from growing up. They don't look at you as an
No,
expert.
I don't even bother.
Right.
Like Lauren's brother is sick with.
Send your
with-
family to the best doctors you know.
Yeah, Lauren's
Yeah.
brother is sick with some type of celiac type thing, and
Yeah.
he goes to the doctors, and they run the tests, and now they and they tell him the same. He's not that point of celiac,
Right.
But what
It's the same thing with
It's not.
diabetes.
It's not the point where
Right.
you're gonna die.
Right,
People do die of
but
celiac.
But here's what you have to do: you have to eat whatever you want
to get there.
to put the weight on.
That's it.
You're losing too much weight. Eat whatever you can.
Right.
And I'm like, and Lauren's like, well, eating whatever you can got you here.
Right.
Right.
So and he's just like, but the doctor told me I can eat
That's
whatever
right,
I
but
want.
The doctor told.
What
me.
about the patient who's at 98 milligrams per deciliter of blood sugar?
Yeah.
Right. Well, we can't do
that was-
anything about it right
That was
now.
pretty fancy. 98
Milligrams per
deciliter. You were
Sorry.
that was really
You
went-
could die.
you went
That was
for it.
Peter. It's here, I think.
you really went
But like,
for it.
so you know what the AMA guidelines for that is? We monitor.
Yeah.
Monitor. You're at 98. We can. Diabetes is at 100, right?
Yeah.
So we can
Talking about
stop this
glucose?
right here. So yeah, glucose.
Why couldn't
No,
you
no,
just
no.
No, well, it's
Why'd you have to do that?
A1C is the one that they
used for
track for diabetes.
now,
Where
yeah.
I think for glucose it has to be 130 consistently, or above 125 consistently for.
But fasting, it would be 100, I think, whatever.
No,
Just-
fasting.
I was listening to the book. Sorry, dear doc. Anyway, but the whole idea is
Yeah, but
that
you said all
here
those
you
fancy
are,
words.
super close, super
Might as
close,
well be right.
super close.
Sounded right. I believed him because he
Thanks,
said all
Doc.
that fancy shit. I was like, damn,
super close.
he's
to
right.
That. Like once you hit that number, now you have a condition, right?
Right.
And now we treat it with insulin.
Yeah.
And you're like, we're gonna wait until it gets there. In fact, in essence, they're telling you just do a little bit worse, and then we can
then
we
we're
can
on
help
top
you.
of it.
Yeah, we'll see you
We
soon.
got to build for that.
Yeah, exactly.
But we
like,
got to follow the guidelines. So let's
Right.
come on, get those numbers
Hurry
up a little bit.
Hurry up.
And
And
my
I got a
question
pill
is
for
this,
you.
it costs a lot of money to put somebody on insulin. Let's just say they got that diagnosed with diabetes with 40, right? And they're going to live till 80, 85 years.
Metformin's super cheap. They get them on metformin
Oh,
for
wow.
years,
Yeah.
years and
Is
years.
it not cheaper just to not
cheap.
get them on metformin?
No,
There's no
whatever.
money in it.
There's no money in that.
There's not that there's no money. Again, I don't want to, like, people go to medical school for really good reasons. These
Yeah.
are really good people. These
That's
are
what I'm
people
saying.
who just want to save the world
wanna
as
help
much as
people.
anybody else does. They want to help. There's nothing about their education that allows them to have this conversation in a way that's going to affect behavioral change.
Yeah.
Like intellectually, you'll sit there and have a conversation with them, and they hear you, and they're like, "Yeah, you're 100% right," but they don't own the words to affect behavior change in somebody.
Right.
Instead, they own the words to say, "Here you go, take this pill. I got a white jacket on. I got a stethoscope around my neck. You trust me?"
You.
But as you said,
You
The white coat.
Right? That's this guy.
I got to create.
but as
the
you
white
said,
coat
they really
syndrome.
do think they're
Right.
helping people, right? And they are. Listen, they are.
They
Like
are,
they
of
are.
course
They
they
are.
are.
They do it. There's so many different ways that we can combine everything. Why is there such resistance to the more healthy lifestyle? Is it money?
It's too hard.
Is it too hard?
It's
too
difficult.
hard.
You think you know how hard? It's so much easier just to be sick and fat,
Yeah.
right? Like you want to get up and
I've
ride my.
tried. I've tried to be sick and fat.
Give it time. You're getting there.
All right.
It's like I don't want to get up and ride my bike 2
Yeah.
miles.
You had the gout.
That takes like 10 minutes.
That's it. It was
By the way,
7
how long did it take you?
7 minutes.
And you were dying.
Yeah. No, I wasn't dying, but I just rode and my legs were on fire. I just did this loop that I just pre-planned loop, but
Uphill
the
both ways.
Hills are monsters by me. I was like, and I made sure I stayed on my seat the whole time, so I was just pedaling.
Oh, is that a thing?
I don't know.
Well-
I didn't want to get up and be weird, so I just
Well, when you're a kid, you only had, you
Yeah.
had like a Schwinn Stingray.
right. No, I had put it
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
super
years.
easy pedal, and
Yeah.
really fast, and then I just sat there on my seat, and my hip flexors were burning, and my glutes were on
I mean,
fire.
that's a good thing. That's a
Yeah,
positive
yeah.
stress. That's huge stress.
Yeah, and I got off, and my legs were rubbery, and I was like, God, shit! I took my shirt off when I got in the house. I'm like, how long was I gone? Lauren's like 7 minutes. I was like, holy shit! I was like, this.
Did you head right into the cold plunge or what?
No, it's
cold
cold
plunge before.
and I was just like, holy crap, man! And I was like, I wonder if Steve's path is flat.
No, it's not flat, but it's probably not as hill. Like it's not going to be those drastic hills.
The 25, the basic 25 mile, 12 and a half one way, 12 and a half back is you'll do 1,700 feet of climbing. But you know, for every hill, there's a nice downhill, right? So there's reward.
Yeah, I don't know, man. My neighborhood sucks.
I mean, I'm in. When are we doing? We're waiting until
we're waiting for this guy.
He won't let us. Daddy won't let us.
I was there on Sunday. You're playing pickleball,
right?
I was on my bike.
Nobody called me. Where was I on Sunday?
I don't know. You were
what?
I don't know. I'm probably ironing your lab coat.
Don't say that too loud. We've had some lab coat issues with Lisa over there because Kelly had to take some pictures for her new functional medicine center, and Lisa was taking care of it. It's a little bit of a thing we have right now.
I love it.
Yeah.
What?
So, gotta have authority,
right?
Gotta have it. You gotta, you know.
Like you want me to put a garbage bag on? I just want to. I do manual techniques, and they put their feet on my clothes and stuff like that. I'm protecting my clothes.
That's an excuse. I can't reach over to smack him because I'm blind. I'm
that's why we
stuck over here.
He was wondering why he gets sitting over here, and there's obstacles in the way. I got metal.
I don't even have my button to press.
So, it's right there.
Because I would have bullshitted you. I would have bullshitted you to death. I'm gonna get it. I would have bullshitted you to death.
I was involved.
I'm very good at excuses.
Right.
I'm super.
I don't want to get my shirt dirty, so I wear a lab coat.
Pants mostly.
Oh, pants mostly. Right.
I was involved in building a clinic in Gold's Gym in Newburgh, New York.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really remarkable gym because it's like 100,000 square feet. It's been there, same owners, family owned, since 1985. So Don and Tammy Murphy just love the chiropractic message, and we partnered with them to build a clinic there that's front and center. And Don's mom opened up that Gold's Gym in 1985. She was like an aerobics instructor in the early 80s. I mean, just kicking it old school, right? They bought a building that it was a racquetball place. Anyway, the idea was at that time gyms were called health clubs.
Yeah.
Right. So building a chiropractic clinic with our messaging in partnership, right front and center. You go into a Gold's Gym and there's a chiropractic office because they're renting it and they got some room by the locker room, right?
Yeah.
This is front and center in partnership with the owners, because why would you go to a hospital for health care, right? You go to the hospital for crisis care, go to a medical doctor for crisis care. So a gym should be a health club. Like we should bring that concept should come back. Right.
Yeah.
So they built an Align Life clinic up there in Newburgh. It's awesome. It's really awesome. Yeah.
They get a body in there yet?
Yeah. I mean, they have one of the local doctors there who's been there he's great. Been there for 30 years. He's the hands-on chiropractor there, but they need somebody else. He's part-time.
Right.
Part-time. He's putting in, I think, 12 to 15 hours a week, which is not bad. I mean, you can but because it's a Gold's Gym that has very long hours, they want to have some people who want to come in 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock.
Sounds like opportunity to me.
Come in at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Well, you know what it is? It's finding a doc.
Yeah,
finding a doc is like it's still an issue.
Yeah,
it is. Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we have chiropractic, we have physical therapy, we have occupational therapy, acupuncture. We're still
nowhere
trying to find providers.
There are 60,000 licensed chiropractors in the United States, which is the largest healthcare profession outside of medicine. So if you add up the acupuncturists and the DOs and the physical therapists, we're the biggest primary portal of entry profession, and we only take care of, depending on the statistics, 2% of the population on an ongoing basis. We probably see 6% of the population at some point in their life. If that number doubled, there's not enough of us.
Yeah.
Right.
There's not enough of us. So there's a huge demand for more chiropractors.
Are we getting paid by the chiropractic schools?
Yes, right now.
This way we can fill.
No,
the
the
doors.
chiropractic school better. The schools better start doing a
better job.
a better job in training these guys, because
That's
we're
true
a
too.
we're a hands-on profession, and if your hands suck,
Yeah.
It's still they haven't changed the Greek root of chiropractic, right? Done by hand. Was it
Yeah.
Greek or Latin? What was it? It is Greek.
everything is Greek.
Everything is great.
Done by hands. I get it. Like it's what we do.
The Greeks invented Latin.
God.
That's
All
it.
right.
We're gonna owe to them over there. That's for sure. So you're off to North Carolina.
North Carolina.
You're off to the
Abingdon, Virginia. South Holston Lake,
All right.
Soho,
Wait, South Holston
So-
Lake. Holy
yeah.
cow. We were just
Virginia,
looking at
Tennessee border.
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
Really?
That's not too far from Lake Norris. Norris Lake in
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Which
No.
is a bigger lake.
Yes.
Yeah. My buddy goes fishing there too. So Chris Brown, if you're ever looking for property or anything on a lake, Chris is the guy to talk to for that
All right.
part of the world. He's great. We
Yeah.
got 4 families going down there, and we go every year, usually at this time, just to hang out. There's nothing better than just hanging out on a lake. I love lakes.
We just went up to Lake George was that a
that's
couple
great.
weeks ago. I love the lakes that
Lakes.
bring you back 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
Like at this point, like I don't want Lake George to change. I'm sure it will, but like don't modernize. Just let that
leave
be
those
the place.
cabins be there.
Exactly. Let that be the place that people can just go back a few years where it's a
Right.
little bit more simple and
That's how our lake is.
yeah.
Crazy rules.
You guys are technically the Catskill Mountains, right?
Yeah.
Or not the Ramapo
Catskill.
Catskill.
Yeah.
How far is it?
Like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's-
I went up Saturday at 2 and then came back Saturday at 7.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
shout out there to
that's the trip you could easily do. Back
Yeah,
and
it was
forth
easy.
You
quick
take the
and-
Thruway or 17 North?
17 North.
Yeah.
It's easy breezy.
Yeah.
Get a ticket at
Is
Liberty.
it before 84? Like,
Liberty.
is it after 84?
Right after 84.
Right after
Yeah.
84.
Right after 84. Right through past Middletown.
Yeah.
It's right on the other side of Middletown.
Is it near? Is it near Roscoe?
No, that's closer.
It's closer.
I'm closer. to
Yeah, no,
Roscoe.
he's closer. Roscoe is out. Yeah.
Roscoe's a little further. Probably in
I
the
was on
40
my way to
minutes.
Binghamton, and
Yeah,
I went to camp out by Hancock, New York. It's at
Yeah,
87.
That's
over
on
there.
the Pennsylvania border.
That's correct. Well, we were in Wayne County, Pennsylvania, is where our sleepaway camp was. So it's you get off at Hancock, you know, maybe like another 15 minutes down the road, boom, you're in the middle of Pennsylvania.
No,
Yeah.
buddy, when I was in the 80s, a friend of mine had a house in Hancock, New York, and we were like 18 years old. I had my 1977 lime green Volkswagen Rabbit, and we drove out there and did some really bad things. in
Yeah.
Hancock, New York.
That's what
Really
you're
bad
supposed to do.
things.
Yeah.
I was I think I was might have been my first bar ever was the Townhouse there.
Yeah,
The Great
yeah.
Wings, the Townhouse.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we were 18 years old. We were just sowing our wild oats. It was our, we took the house, like there were no parents. We went to, we all had fake IDs. We went into the bars. I hate to say it, driving.
All right.
So we were fucking around with a air pump BB gun,
Oh yeah.
right? And and it was empty. And we
Or so you thought.
and we were just doing the puff of air,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
in each other's faces, right?
So stupid.
Yeah,
this
like
is
we did it like
Oh, like you were smarter
No,
at
I'm
that.
just
saying,
it
it just sounds
did it like
ridiculous.
10 times, and we're pumping it, like you're like
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to get as much air in there as possible.
So my buddy Clint, I'm telling you, at the last second, just put his hand. I didn't pull the trigger. Put his hand on the barrel, and my other friend pulled the trigger. The fucking BB went through his hand and came out. There was a BB in there,
Oh, Jesus.
Holy
and we were
shit.
pointing it at each other's faces. Isn't that crazy?
That is
That's
So I
scary.
drove my lime green Volkswagen Rabbit to like whatever hospital they had there, which
Hospital. There's no
You know how-
hospital. Hey, you gotta
I
go to
know.
Binghamton to get the
so
hospital.
we had to drive far.
Yeah.
So and we were not well.
Right.
So it started to rain. So when I turned the windshield wipers on, the headlights turned off.
There's only so much
So
electric.
it was either But with the headlights on, with no windshield wipers, or
Right.
no light. So we kept going back and forth.
Oh my god!
Wow.
That's
How
good.
vivid is this story in your head
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now?
yeah.
Like you're
No,
actually, you
like
probably
it was
could
yesterday.
feel the
It
emotions.
was yesterday.
That's so
It was
much fun,
yesterday.
though.
I got- so-
1989, 1988.
So they did nothing in the hospital at that point. What are they supposed to do? I mean,
No, they had to get it out. So when
Yeah,
yeah,
of
because it
course.
was sticking out the skin like
Yeah,
this, and
Yeah.
because we were actually contemplating, why don't we get a razor blade and just
Yeah,
cut it,
slice
cut
it
it
up.
out there.
Yeah,
And he's like, no, we need a doctor.
Nah, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a chiropractor someday. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You didn't do stupid stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I mean, well, hold on.
And it's
Let's
all-
call you were 18 years old.
And everyone did something stupid with those BB guns
Yeah.
for sure. Those are fun. Those so funny. Those pump ones.
Yeah.
That car was so much fun.
Yeah.
That car was so much fun. It was the most disgusting green.
Where do you think that thing
Um,
lives right now? In
I don't
many
know.
other cars that you've.
Junkyard. Of,
But
what's
you know,
the,
if I parked at Jones Beach and there were 10,000 cars,
yours was.
I just stood on somebody's bumper. I'm like, there it is.
There it is.
You didn't need to hit the alarm
The
back in
ugliest-
19.
yeah.
Back
That
then.
was the ugliest green you've ever seen.
No, well, we had a Mercury.
But it was a
Brougham.
4-speed. It was a 4-speed. It had this weird button. In order to start the car, you had to press this red button that was for the fuel injection.
right.
So like you heard the zzz, and that was the only way to start the car. But back then you could just roll the car and jump start.
Right.
That's a good.
As
old
long as
days.
you weren't going in the wrong direction. Right. Yeah. Rolling downhill.
Yeah, that's fun. I remember pop starting.
We had,
cars.
we never had manual. We always it was an automatic car, but like my father had good cars.
Yeah.
I'm not a car guy, so I can't even
Yeah,
respect
I love
what it is. But my father had good cars. But then, of course, when my sister and I started driving, we got the ugliest, crappiest, disgusting cars ever. And I get it now, of course. But
Yeah.
God,
I
So we-
owned 7 vehicles between the age of 17 to 21. Not one of them I paid more than $500.
Yeah, that's the way to start. That's
Yeah.
the way these kids nowadays. They have these 18-year-old kids driving all these fancy cars and shit. I'm
Yeah.
like, Jesus.
yeah, I really would like my kids to drive in this fancy high school parking lot, 1980 something Ford Taurus. Like that's, I mean, that's what I want. I mean, that's what we started with, and then by the time
I gave Paige my car. I said, if you learn how to drive stick, you can have my car. So yesterday she took it to school. Like today's the first day.
it is,
She's
yeah.
a senior. They took the soap and they drew,
I
senior,
saw that all
20
yesterday,
class of
yeah.
2025.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
having a blast. And
As they should.
so she calls me. I'm like, what's up? I go, you okay? Because I thought,
Oh, here we go.
It's like I showed her how to drive a little bit, and she's like, you got to take me out again. I'm like, I'm not taking you out. I've had enough of smelling my clutch burn.
Right.
Just drive it. Just practice. You're on your own.
This car?
No, the other car I had.
Oh.
I'm about to say this is the one he loves to.
No,
I get
she's
him, man.
not. She's not going to
She's
touch
not
that
touching
car.
Your Vin Diesel car?
No, I always drove stick. I mean,
Yeah.
it was always, every car I ever owned, pretty much, was stick. But anyway, so she took it, and she calls me. I'm like, "What's up? Are you okay?" She's like, "You'd be so proud of me." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "I'm driving really, really well." I'm like, "All right, good. You're supposed to."
Right. That's awesome. That's
Well,
hard though.
I find myself attracted to girls who drive stick. So my last 4 girlfriends, and including my now wife, I think that was the qualification.
Yeah.
I'm like, you needed to
I
drive stick.
heard
do
about
something
Kelly.
good.
Yeah. He does drive a
Ew.
good. He does drive a good
That
stick.
is not. That is not what I was getting at, but
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Too. Oops.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Sorry, Cal. Whatever.
Yeah.
She had the right to defend herself last time when she was in here. So if
That's
she
so
wants
fun.
to defend herself, she can come in here too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
She's gonna
Yeah.
listen to this.
You really think? Take care.
No.
I don't think she's listening to this. You know what? Everybody's going to listen to this. They're going to go back into our first 4 episodes because they're going
gonna come up and see it.
huge, and they're going to want to see where this all started.
Yeah. It's like
This
when
is where it
you
is.
like when someone like all these politicians run for something, then they dig up something from 500 years old, and
Right,
That's right.
this is where it first
I've
started.
Oh,
already
yeah, you
made-
have said
I
some
already
pretty
made a commitment. I'm not trying to hide anything.
That's
right,
it.
right.
You've been pretty damning too, man. I mean,
Yeah,
like we've
I don't-
lost a lot of sponsors because of you already.
I told you, but nothing's gonna go good if I'm in this. You guys are all gonna be in trouble. I just
That's
feel
why-
bad for
Did
him.
you say you had a coffee sponsor or something?
Me? No, it
I'm
was-
trying to work with a guy who's opening up a coffee place. So we're trying to figure it out. He's doing some imported coffee.
Look at all this.
better be
Look at all this
organic.
advertising
Yeah,
space
you know,
that we
all the
have over
things,
here.
right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm checking.
This is
that
all
out.
advertising space. Even some of this right here, we can advertise it.
Yeah, for sure.
We have enough advertising.
I get a
space
bigger
over here.
share.
Right.
I get a bigger
right,
share.
right. We got to do that. So, yeah, but no, I think this podcast room is going to take off in a little bit too. So you're using
So
it.
I'm going to use it. I need it for some webinars. I'm going to do some training videos. Like I'm going to be using it.
Got to show. Yeah, I mean
So-
it's pretty easy to use here. Let's get you on there. Oops, wrong way. Hold on, ready, ladies and gentlemen.
There he is. Look at him.
This is Dr. Stevie G. Let's
Steve-
go. Hold
We
on.
got to get George or
Deep.
Diesel
Deep.
to show us how to
Right.
just kind of switch to whatever I would want.
We got to get the switch. We got to get the switch. Like there's going to be a switch here.
If I know how to use it.
We will get Deep in here. Deep is the man. What do you think? There.
Yeah,
Shine coming on.
it
I'll
is.
have to
Gotta
work
work
on
that.
You can
Do
work
some
makeup.
makeup.
Well, I think he, try one. Push that thing up on the light.
did.
No, I don't. Yeah.
No,
No, you're
Nah,
still
there's
the one
shining.
behind him.
Is it? Yeah, it could be.
Shooting right on.
It's that. That's the one. That shouldn't be on.
We can turn it off.
How do you turn
to your
it off?
left, if you hit the button that's like underneath the TV. Right here.
There you go. Let's see.
Nope, that
no
wasn't it.
difference.
Yeah, no, look how different. It is.
That's so
Do
fun.
you mind if I just unzoom here?
Yeah.
It'll get a little, a
Like-
little uncomfortable. You're gonna have to get used to the there we go. This is fucking crazy.
Fuck you guys. I don't care. I'll just say horrible shit.
How do we get this air conditioning thing in here? Hold on, guys. Just so there you go. Oh,
Hey, how'd the light go back on?
it's a motion
Oh.
sensor, or whatever. Sorry, guys. Well, whatever. Let's get Chris back in here. We can turn it. We can probably get that fixed or turned off, whatever. Who knows? It's gonna be fun though.
No, I think. Is that you?
That didn't change anything.
Oh,
No, that was.
I just did it.
Yeah.
oh,
But it's motion detector, so the
Oh.
next time somebody does some motion, it's gonna go on over there. So it's okay. We got sure, at least it was a second. I put the air conditioning down in the morning just because
Oh.
it gets a little warm in here,
Yeah.
and but the fact is, this air conditioning is connected to his wing over here, so it's probably freezing in there. So he goes to 78, but it's comfortable in here. I think it'll.
78 is freezing.
No, I put it down to 68.
I leave
Oh,
mine at
60,
68 all the time.
Yeah.
And people come in with blankets and
Yeah.
jackets in my office, but I'm sweating.
Yeah.
We're
No,
moving.
you're
We're constantly out.
Yeah.
My girls in the middle of summer on a 99-degree day are in here with sweaters. And
Yeah,
on
of
Tuesdays and
course.
Thursdays, they
Yesterday.
know when Dr. Pete
Yesterday.
is here. I have to.
Yesterday, there's people waiting in their cars because it was so cold. I'm like, I can't turn it
When
down.
I-
I'm
when I
going
got my
100 miles an
practice-
hour.
When I opened my practice in Washington Heights, I bought an existing practice, and it was in a 110-year-old building on 181st Street. So every building in New York City has got window air conditioning,
Yeah.
right? So this was a converted ground floor apartment, and it had all these window units. I'm like, this is not going to work. Like one room is freezing, the other room is hot. The first investment I made, I was just started in practice. I had no money at all, and I called my cousin who was in the HVAC. I'm like, I need central air. He's like, it's going to cost you $10,000. I'm like, do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do it. And
Rich people shit.
Right.
Yeah, you're just out in practice. Remember the first day I was in practice, I was telling people like, okay, I need to rent out
I wore a
space.
shirt and tie.
I have
every
$1.64.
day. I wore a shirt and tie every day, and I'm like, I gotta be comfortable. I gotta have central air.
Yeah. I gotta have air too.
Best invention of the 20th century. You could say it was the TV, the cell phone, the computer. No, it was not.
My
Air
air conditioning
conditioning.
broke at the lake house or wasn't working as good as it should have. I just went home.
Yeah, I can't live.
Yeah.
I went back here. I was like, or I was gonna sleep in the car. I can't stand it. I was like, she's like, what's wrong with
That's gonna
you?
be the demise of
Just
Europe.
sweaty.
You go to Europe. They make it impossible for people to have real air conditioning. Like if it's 99 degrees outside in August in Athens, and you walk into a restaurant, it's going to be 89 degrees in the restaurant. That's air conditioning for them.
Yeah.
Going from
Can't.
99 to 89 is enough.
Is your patient?
No,
You don't have any patience.
it's true. I just lied to you guys.
Yeah, you just didn't want to hang out with us.
It's getting a lot. I mean, we have
It
to do
is.
this every week.
I
Jesus.
know. What's UAC?
Yeah.
going?
Yeah, I'm going. I didn't make my flight yet because I'm speaking at New York, so I'm doing the New York Chiropractic Council.
And are you doing New York? And isn't there a Connecticut thing going on there that weekend too? I thought you said you were going to Connecticut.
No,
also,
no,
I think.
I'm doing New York. I'm doing 2 hours, and it's at 4:30. So I have to leave Saturday morning. Maria's probably gonna stay. She might even go up to visit George at in Tallahassee. But so I'm going down on Wednesday night.
You're
In
going down
Florida.
Wednesday night.
Yeah, because I got a buddy to hang out with on Thursday. But then Thursday night, I think we're gonna all be getting to the hotel.
Did you book?
When are you going down?
I'm going.
I didn't book my flight yet.
Did you book the hotel?
Oh, I did. I did book the hotel.
Did you book Thursday?
I booked Thursday and Friday.
All right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't book Thursday because I wasn't sure, but I'm going to book Thursday now, and I'm going to go Thursday
By the way,
morning.
you
Thursday
know,
morning.
the-
I'm gonna go. I
the-
was thinking about Thursday night. Maybe Thursday.
if you book it on your own,
Yeah.
you think you're saving a few bucks, but you're going to be in a different building. You're going to be in other words, the block that we get is it's better to go through that because you're going to pay the same if you want to be in the same building that we're in. We do
Right.
get a better price.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the
you-
same building.
you
I
talked to
confirmed
me.
her.
But it helps us because every time we get a block, if we don't meet that block, we get penalized. In Vegas, it costs us like 15 grand.
Yeah. I just can't do the no refund rule you guys have.
You talked me into
I
doing
just
it
can't
privately.
I just can't. You know, like
I'm gonna give a plug to American Express. Like with the American Express, I get the free food, I get the free,
Yeah,
you know,
so
late,
it's-
late, early check-in, late check-out, that type
You
of stuff.
can't use your American Express to get it from
No, well,
from.
no. If you go
from
through
person.
luxury resorts, hotels and resorts directly,
Oh,
then
okay.
yeah, I mean, yes, I could use my American Express. I get the points and everything like
Right.
that. But no, you get a lot of perks.
Yeah.
I was able to
maybe
get-
American Express, maybe a little.
I was able to
little-
get the same in the was it
The
the
tower.
tower?
Yeah, he told me about.
We got
this.
in the tower, and I have to always go with the cancellation thing.
Yeah.
UAC has a non-cancellation policy, which is devastating. But I can't do that.
because you might cancel, or what do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, because life, the
Oh,
last
no, of
two I've
course.
had to cancel,
Right.
due to a situation. So I need to have that flexibility. You know?
Well, we're gonna test this out. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I did what he said this day. I
yeah,
did
yeah,
it
yeah.
privately.
But I'm gonna add Thursday to it. I didn't. Do
It just would
Thursday.
suck if it cost us money, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Right,
just
right.
saying
Yeah.
it's because I'm on the board, and
Yeah.
it's not being done as a money making thing. It's being done to get the best price and to actually book the hotels.
Yeah.
It's getting
But it
more
was
and more
tons
difficult.
cheaper to book the hotel versus going through UAC. So I don't know what they did wrong. I saved a couple $100
right?
just for 2 nights. So
in the same
Yeah,
building.
in the tower.
in the
Yeah,
tower.
he told me about it.
Yeah. yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
So I have to look into that.
Yeah.
I like the lineup though. It's gonna be cool. And a
Lineup is
lot-
going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm upset that I'm not going to be there.
I don't know who the
When
lineup
you,
is. I'm just going for fun.
Yeah.
Sunday,
Good.
you're coming home on Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Thursday early, and then chill out.
Maybe I should go a little earlier on Thursday. I was thinking about just seeing patients until
I'm not
you know
seeing it.
3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then
I
trying to
can't
fly out
stand
of-
flying at night because it's always delayed or it's always a
Yeah.
disaster.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Wait, can we talk about this park job?
Is
Is that for real? Did this just happen? Just so our viewers who are
What
not
is
just
that?
listening to this, Genesis. What is that?
Yeah,
Is
Genesis.
Genesis what company? Is Genesis?
Hyundai.
Is that- It's Hyundai.
It's
Yeah.
Hyundai's
Like their
high end.
high-end,
Yeah, it's like the Lexus to Toyota type of thing, and the Affinity to Honda. But like
They have great trucks.
their cars are
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah,
Like,
that's
Did we
the
talk
one.
about
That's
this?
the one that saved Tiger Woods' life, right?
Yeah,
he
it was.
crashed it and lived.
That's
Oh
correct.
yeah, right. Yeah. They're
Hold on.
great.
Does he not see that these lines are angled? Is he doing that on purpose, or is this oblivious?
I don't know,
What do we think?
Maybe I'm going oblivious.
Yeah.
He's doing things his own way, man. He's
Yeah.
not. He doesn't color within the lines.
Obviously.
He's a free
So it's
spirit.
got a Genesis. It looks like with the front
It's a
end of
nice
it looks
car.
like
They-
electric.
they-
They are nice looking cars,
I-
right? So
I
I mean, but they
rented
still have a
one.
Hyundai.
Yeah, I mean, it's still
Is it
I mean, I
Hyundai?
don't care.
Hyundai?
Hyundai.
Hyundai?
Hyundai.
It's too close to. Do you think we're
It's electric. You can hear it.
wiggy, 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 wiggy?
Is it electric?
Yeah.
I'm not into the electric thing yet.
No, I'm not.
I love how we were
Although
all
I saw
distracted.
a great video of a Hellcat Durango racing a Tesla
Yeah.
Cybertruck. The Cybertruck won
Yeah.
clearly, but the Hellcat I mean, you can't beat that sound.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
no,
1,000
that's-
horsepower.
doesn't
or
matter.
something
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. I'm all
They're
about
doing it
sound.
now.
So
They're
cool.
making the sound. It was like that movie that Will Smith
I
and Kevin
know.
James or whatever it was. They are making
I don't
If
care.
anything,
product to make the sound.
I would want software that would give me the sound of a Jetsons.
yeah, yeah. Because the Jets.
So yeah, exactly. But like that's what they're doing. And sometimes it's just internal.
Torticollis.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just internal where you can't hear it outside, but you can hear it inside.
Right.
To give you that feeling. And sometimes they're making it outside. That was a crazy movie.
No, but you
back
got
in
to
the day, man.
feel. It's not just hearing the engine; it's feeling
feeling
the engine.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
a difference.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I don't know. From what I understand, like the driving the Plaid is amazing.
Yeah, my
The
patient
what?
has one.
Yeah,
What's the
It's
Plaid?
so fast. It's
the,
crazy.
Yeah, the Tesla,
Tesla.
the
The fastest
sedan.
car on the planet.
Oh,
0
yeah.
to 60 in 1.6 seconds.
Yeah,
I mean, that's going to create a lot of patience for us because
That's
that's a
crazy.
lot of whiplash.
it just buries you.
Yeah.
Into the
Is that
seat.
what is it? Ludicrous.
Ludicrous speed.
Ludicrous mode. Ludicrous mode.
Space
Ludicrous mode. That's crazy. That's so fast.
We've gone to Plaid.
Yeah.
Is that where
Is
the
that where it
name
came
came
from?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That is just
Well,
nuts.
he is. He did name the models S, E, X, and Y.
Sexy.
You think he did that? Yeah.
No, he
Impressive,
did.
right? Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Good for him. I got a question.
All right.
The idea that you want to go faster? Well, pay a little bit. We'll give you a download, and then boom, you go faster. What?
Yeah.
I don't understand that concept.
That's
like,
why I don't
you
like
can make a car
electric.
faster with a
Yeah.
download.
That
That's
means-
insane.
That means it can also control you.
They
Well, that's the thing,
That's
off
why-
the grid.
That's why
Off
I'm
the
not.
right?
I'm never getting a car that's like
There was that movie
That can be
just
shut
came
off
out
by
with-
some software.
right.
Yeah.
Like you like a police
Right.
person behind
We're
you.
on lockdown.
Yep.
We're on lockdown, so you can't drive.
No more. Off. Your car's off.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
Yep. Or they can access all of your information and see you and see if you're.
they are. Well, Tesla's tracking you.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
doing that to
I'm not. My car's
build
gonna run out.
their driverless cars.
I
right?
own a straw that has a filter in it, so I can drink out of puddles. I'm not.
Right.
Yeah,
I-
yeah, oh yeah.
yeah.
Kelly,
I want to.
we
I
have the
want to be.
doomsday
I want to
shit
be a
too.
prepper. I want to be a
Prepper, we
prepper.
are.
I'm
We are.
so not prepared.
No, we're prepared.
Okay, I got
wanna
a
be a
question. So, like Kelly was crazy into that, like 17 years ago when she thought everything was going down and stuff like that. So, am I? Like,
it's gonna
I have
happen.
that prep kit. I have I got like 50 pounds of prep shit.
Right.
Like, how long does that last? I'm
Right.
already 17 years into this, so I have to replenish
Right,
my
yeah.
prep shit.
I don't know. I think you need 6 months of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, just my normal shopping is 6 months of that.
Yeah,
It drives
you need
nuts
time-
the way my family shops.
You need time
Food shop,
for whatever you plant to grow and whatever chickens you find in the wild. You
Wild
just- I
chickens,
have
wow,
five-
this came full
got to
circle.
domesticate the wild
I
chickens.
have. I just have 800 bags of cachava protein. That's all.
Well, that's it. That's all the
Well,
stuff
You need some fat. You need some fat.
It's a full meal. Well, Greg's here.
Greg, yeah, it's
The-
your boy.
It is
We still don't have a license. Should we put-
8:57, so it's good.
Yeah,
Getting
you
better.
talked him to. You talked. He showed up at 8:59. He had a real stern conversation with him the last time we were here. He
That's
made
late.
it in 8:57. That's for sure.
Right,
so.
that's good. That's good.
But is
Not
it really?
first, you last.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, you got to have 6 months.
6 months.
I think you have 6 months of being able to self-sustainable here.
By the way, this blood place, it's just blood donation. That's all they do.
I don't know. As opposed to what? What else would it be?
I don't know.
Oh, it's not like a lab.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's a
I don't
lab. I
think
think
anything
it's.
like
I mean, you'd have to ask them. So
blood donation.
there's Kristen. You want to ask her about the rat? She'll tell you about it.
Mhm.
I don't want to know anything about it.
No, it's so out of sight, out of mind. It's so true. Ignorance is bliss.
By the way,
That
there's
is-
a steakhouse being built
sure is
right over here. Flanagan's. or
Fleming's.
something? Fleming's.
Yeah, it's yeah. They were down in Edgewater. I don't think they're there anymore.
Is it
But,
good?
yeah, Fleming's is good. I did a lot
Where
of
is it?
networking down
It's
there.
going to be in Wegmans.
Yeah, across,
Oh.
but in the
Across
other
the
side, in the North District, on it, where Square Pizza is,
Oh,
or
yeah.
Paris Baguette. Again,
Pottery Barn.
I'm
and
plugging you guys. Let's go.
Williams Sonoma.
We can put your sponsorship right here, right
Nice.
above, or right here.
Right, right above Steve.
Yeah, there we go.
7 shares.
your guy?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, we see a lot of people. Good morning. We see a lot of people here. We help people.
Do you?
I do.
That's
Even
awesome.
in my lab coat and my stethoscope.
My lab coat.
With my, I have lasers
With
too.
my lab coat.
All right, we have tables that do things. That's my patient, by the way. She's sitting there waiting patiently for
So,
us
well,
to
You got
finish
time.
up over
You
here.
got 40 seconds.
So
Listen, you should go get your coat
I'm gonna go get my coat.
and get that authority.
There you go. And while I go get my coat, you're gonna go ahead and start prepping your trip down to North Carolina. But I guess you're not driving, so it's not that
That's
bad.
easy.
Gentlemen,
Good.
always a good time.
Until next
Are we
week.
back to Fridays
We're
now?
back to
Are we back to
Fridays.
Fridays? Yeah, right.
We're
Yeah.
back to
I'm
Fridays.
excited.
So I can just wear my
You just
regular shirt now.
I'm gonna wear. Yeah, he's gonna come in a suit and tie. We're
Right.
gonna rip
We'll
t-shirts and everything.
We'll be back to normal again.
Sorry, Steve, you missed the boat, dude.
Right.
It's all over.
Like next time I'm gonna wear my shirt.
Somebody's gotta hit stop.
I'm gonna limp out of here.
Yeah, right. Don't you're gonna make people like here.
Right. Go.
Yeah, you're gonna promote bad health of my patients over here. Are you kidding me?
How do I turn this one off?
It should be like stop feed or something like that.
End stream.
There we go. End stream.
So we gotta ask him if we can get one of these here.
So I mean, there's so many different options. You can get a wire, like an HDMI wire and everything like that, so we can plug it directly into the TV. You can get a splitter. So we've talked about all that. If you want to make it easy for next week, that is just for the SD cards. Yeah. So the SD, we actually have to
So
put down into.
I'm gonna want to bring my own SD card
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
for